The movie trailer of Amytiville begins with the production company logo Dimension Films for authentication. This allows the audience to acknowledge the company and decide on whether it will be good, judging from other films they recognize as also being distributed from the company. The distributing company acts as a form of advertisement, as many people like to watch films from a specific distributing company. This shot lasts for 3 seconds. We begin with a close-up shot of the protagonist. This suggests that she is one of the main characters of the movie, as she is shown first in this particular type of shot. We hear non-diegetic sound of a string instrument to suggest this is the beginning of the story. Tying in with Todorov's narrative theory, a state of equilibrium is presented. In relation to the genre, the character is wearing dark makeup to emphasize on the fact that this is a horror. Her being represented as a grunge girl really ties in with the fact that this is a horror. This shot lasts for 1 second. In this shot, we are shown from the point of view of the protagonist, the house in which the family are going to move into. The dialogue, "Home Sweet Home," again links in with Todorov's theory of narrative, that this is the state of equilibrium. In relation to the horror genre, the fact that the house is isolated suggests there will be danger, as this is one of the typical conventions of a horror. Trees also connote horror, as it makes it look dark and forest-like, further reinforcing the genre. This shot lasts for 2 seconds. The next shot is a mid-shot of the family arriving in a car. This allows the audience to become familiar with the family who are going to move into this house and become victims. Furthermore, there is the passenger seat that is empty, connoting the fact that there is no father. Stereotypically, this suggests the family are at a greater disadvantage, as they lack a father figure and a breadwinner, therefore connoting they are weak and further victimized. This is a typical convention of a movie of the horror genre, as it is always the female who is in danger. The strings are being played in the background as we are still being introduced to the narrative. This shot lasts for 1 second. A long shot is used to show the audience in the room in which the protagonist is going to stay in. This further establishes the setting and allows the audience to recognize where things are, almost like the audience are part of the move. Perhaps the emptiness of the room could make the audience believe that there is something lurking around in the room, as the paranormal are more likely to be in a room where there hasn't been any activity in quite a while. Small windows denote lack of light, which makes the audience assume the horror is going to occur in the room, and makes them feel afraid for the girl. This shot lasts for 1 second. A mid-shot of the protagonist is presented, and this time we are able to see slightly of what she is wearing. Black, connoting horror, which suggests the girl herself is perhaps fearless. The dialogue suggests she is unhappy of the fact that she had to move, however her tone of voice suggests she isn't really bothered by it. From this we are able to see her attitude as a young girl, and can judge that she is perhaps a grunge girl. This shot lasts for 2 seconds. There is a long establishing shot of the new school in which she now has to go to. As this is still the beginning, we are still getting to know the protagonist. This suggests she is still a young student, making the audience feel sympathy for her due to the fact that she is a victim of this horror. This matches the dialogue in which she states, "New school," and we are shown the establishing shot. This shot lasts for 1 second. A low-angle shot of the main protagonist is used as she walks into the classroom. This allows the audience to see the other students watching her walking into the classroom from the point of view of one of the students. This makes it seem like we are experiencing this, so it's as if though we are part of the horror. We are able to see desks and a basic classroom environment. Her dialogue, and have to start all over again establishes the start of the narrative. This shot lasts for 1 second. A high-angle shot of the faces of the students allow us to see the reaction of the new addition, the protagonist, as she enters the room. This is a point-of-view shot, and this makes the protagonist look as if though she has a higher status over the other students, so it makes the audience want to feel as the protagonist does. From their reaction, we are able to see that they perhaps feel intimidated by her due to the type of shot used. We are also able to see the empty seat in which the protagonist will come and sit. This suggests that they were prepared to welcome her. This shot lasts for 3 seconds. In this shot, the paramedics are bringing in another member of the family in a mid-shot. He is shown to be in very bad condition as he is strapped to a gurney. This suggests he is a potential victim as he is the weak member of the family. The trees in the background create a dark atmosphere which further makes the audience feel frightened about what is to come. We hear the mother's voiceover explaining why they moved here. This shot lasts for 2 seconds. In this shot, we go back to the mother at the dinner table, explaining to the unhappy daughter why they actually moved here. A mid-shot is used. This allows the audience to see her facial expression as she reasons with her daughter. They have incorporated the dialogue between the mother and her daughter as part of the narration, which allows us to understand the narrative through the dialogue as opposed to the voiceover. This shot lasts for 1 second. A mid-shot is used to show her reaction to what the mother is saying. She behaves like a typical teenager in that she doesn't seem interested in what the mother has to say. This shot lasts for 1 second. The brother is shown using an over-the-shoulder shot as we come to know of his name, James. The dialogue of the mother corresponds to what is shown on screen. This creates a visual feel to the narrative, which is exactly what a trailer is supposed to do. Hospital equipment around him shows he is weak and vulnerable, again linking to the fact that he is a helpless victim. This shot lasts for 2 seconds. In this reverse shot, the mother's face is shown as she tells him she loves him. This further shows the audience how much of a caring mother she is through the type of shot used, a mid-close-up, and as the audience is closer to her, this suggests she is a good character. This shot lasts for 1 second. She kisses him in a mid-shot, further emphasizing that she cares. We are also able to see the background of the hospital equipment, again emphasizing he is a weak and potential victim. This shot lasts for 3 seconds. The next shot is an off-center close-up where the protagonist is towards the right. This suggests she is hiding and watching her mother with her brother. She looks a bit jealous. It looks as if though she is having doubts about the vulnerability of her brother. This shot lasts for 1 second. An off-center close-up is used of the mother, corresponding with the same shot as the daughter, except the mother is more towards the left. She has the same facial expression as her daughter, suggesting they both perhaps feel similar. This shot lasts for 1 second. This shot is of text. The background used is bloody and gory, which matches the genre of the movie. This makes the audience feel frightened, as something like this actually happened and could happen to any member of the audience. The text on this shot fades into the shot after. This shot lasts for 3 seconds. This shot is a long shot. It is very dark, indicating that something scary is going to come as we are introduced to the narrative. The black blur around the shots further adds to the horror as it makes them look more dark. We are notified of the time of day. This long shot from the stairs is also dark, emphasizing the time of day and that something is likely to occur at this time. The same effect of feathered edges is used to notify the audience that we are approaching a scary part of the movie. The diegetic sound of breathing from the boy's mask is heard, building up tension and preparing us for the part that will make us jump. A close-up is shown of the window, which is open. This is common in many horrors as it is through the window something scary occurs. The wind creates movement of the curtains, which creates a fearful atmosphere. White cloth also has connotations of ghosts. Diegetic beeping sound of boy's machine is heard in the background, as well as the wind again building up tension. A close-up of the weak boy in bed is used. A shadow behind the door is seen, almost like it is about to come in and attack the vulnerable boy. This makes us feel frightened for the boy, as he is the most helpless out of them all. We hear the diegetic breathing sound and the beeping as the movement of shadow occurs behind the door. This further builds up tension. A close-up shot of the main protagonist waking up due to the sound of the machine suggests something scary is going to happen. This shot also flashes with the beeping to match the sound being made, creating an intense atmosphere of fear. The fact that the beeping sound speeds up makes us feel frightened for the boy, as it is he who is in trouble. A low-angle shot of the protagonist walking down the stairs as she wonders about what will occur builds up the fear in the audience, as we are about to witness what she will want she reaches the bottom. A long shot is used to show her walking to close the window. Dark lighting creates the fearful atmosphere. The books lying around suggest they haven't finished unpacking. A close-up of her back view closing the window is used. This suggests something scary will happen without her knowing, as we are shown her from the back. Once she closes the window, there is a loud thump, making the audience jump. The reflection of the little girl in the window is what has startled her. A low-angle shot of the light flashing black further adds to the tension. This makes it as if though the light went out, which makes the audience feel frightened for the protagonist. A long shot of the little girl that startled the protagonist is shown in a reverse shot. The same feathered black edges are used to keep with the atmosphere that's being created. The teddy bear in the girl's hand makes the girl look vulnerable and cute. This challenges the conventions of a horror, as someone cute has frightened the protagonist, and this deviates from the usual ugly, inhuman, scary figure. A close-up of the protagonist turning around startled due to what she saw through the reflection of the window is shown. The diegetic sound of her gasping is heard, and the audience are aware of why she is scared, as the reflection of the little girl still remains in the window. The same long shot of the little girl is used as the protagonist approaches her. The dialogue of the little girl is heard, "sorry," due to the fact that the protagonist had mistaken the girl for something scary. Dark lighting makes it look scary as the two are alone together at night. In this mid-shot, the two sisters are talking. The protagonist looks to be annoyed at the sister's sudden urge to go see her brother. This shot becomes brighter to emphasize the innocence of the younger girl, and brightness representing purity and innocence. A close-up shot of the little girl seeing her brother is used. The fact that the shot is a close-up emphasizes the fact that she is good, as the audience are closer to her. A close-up of the boy in his hospital bed as the younger girl goes to kiss him is used. His eyes are closed but open wide after she bends down. This makes him look scary. The feathered edges flash with the non-diegetic music, which further makes the audience feel scared. The sound and the flashing from the previous shot occurs in this long shot, which shows the protagonist in the shot watching what had just happened. We now become scared of the boy in the bed as we come to see he is no longer the one that the audience will think is scared. In this mid-shot we hear her gasp due to what she just saw in her dream. Her hand positioned over her mouth suggests she is really startled by what she has just seen happen to her sister. This mid-shot of her fully awake from bed and the diegetic gasping goes through into this shot. The way in which she has woken up, hair flying, further emphasizes how scared she got. This shot is almost like a point of view shot, perhaps from the view of the protagonist or James. This is effective in that we are able to feel just as the character did. The light being shone on the screen allows the audience to break away from the darkness of the previous shots. The shot blurs into focus, creating the illusion that the protagonist has woken up after something has happened. Dialogue of the doctor begins. An over-the-shoulder shot of the doctor is used to present the conversation between the protagonist and the doctor. This suggests the protagonist is scared for her brother, so she has decided to seek help in finding out more from the doctor. We hear the dialogue of the doctor throughout the shot. A close-up is used to show the reaction of the protagonist as she seems very confused about what the doctor has said in relation to the events that had just taken place. A long shot of the injured boy in the hospital bed as the doctor explains that no one has ever recovered from an injury like James, so this frightens the audience as we are able to see that things have actually been happening regarding James. We are able to hear the dialogue of the doctor over this shot. A low-angle shot of the house emphasizes the idea that the house is overpowering the people due to the supernatural force it contains. The shot flashes, which matches the non-diegetic static sound, to frighten the audience to a further extent. The audience are now able to believe that it's the house that's scaring them. A mid-shot in which the protagonist, who is not in the center of the shot, is used to suggest that she is the one who is looking up at the house. We hear a voiceover of "something's not right here." This emphasizes the protagonist's uncertainty of the house, striking fear into the audience. A high-angle shot of the dolls in the room is used. Dolls are well known in many horrors for coming to life, as in other horrors they are portrayed as attacking people. Dark lighting further emphasizes this and makes the audience feel scared for the girl. The voiceover from the previous shot is also used in this shot. The flickering of feathered edges, along with the static sound, builds up tension for what is to come. A close-up of the protagonist's face to show her expression, which is as if she has noticed something. This makes the audience wonder what it is and feel frightened for her. The shot flickers out along with the static sound, again building up tension for what is to come. This is a long shot of what the protagonist has just seen, which appears to be her brother hiding in the distance. This matches the dialogue, "I keep seeing things," allowing the audience to visualize the narrative as we are told this through parts of the dialogue. The audience begins to feel scared, as this unknown figure, which appears to be her brother, could attack her. The same static sounds are heard as he moves slightly. This is a mid-shot of part of the door frame closing from what looks like to be a point of view shot. The door slams shut on its own, where a loud thump makes the audience jump. Along with this is the voiceover of the protagonist. We hear a chanting of kill them, softly echoing in the background. This matches the dialogue of the protagonist, as she states she hears things. Therefore, the audience are frightened to a further extent. In this shot, we are shown a close-up of the protagonist through a hole she is investigating in a brick wall. This suggests she is trying to find out how this happened, as she noticed this. We are presented with things that have been occurring in the home, so we are able to understand why the protagonist is feeling confused and understand the narrative, hence the usage of a close-up. The echoing voice, "kill them," is still present in the background. This is a mid-shot of what looks to be of a message in a wall with blood. This suggests that the ghost is after the whole family as he wants them all dead. The red used has connotations of danger, which is exactly what the message is warning the protagonist. The voiceover of the echoing is also in this shot and links to the message shown in the shot. Shot 49 is a mid-shot of the protagonist in a classroom environment as the boy warns her that it's the house. He doesn't reveal much except some information on the house being haunted. We only hear the dialogue between the two. Dark makeup and lighting further reinforces the horror genre. Shot 50 is a close-up of James. His hands suddenly move, which is unexpected as the audience are aware that he suffers from an illness. The movement is followed by a bang. This creates a jumping moment. Shots 51 to 52 are action shots of the house as the lights inside the house are on. It's as if the house has come alive with James. It's followed by sudden thunder and lightning sound. The unexpected loud bangs create the horror in the trailer. Shot 53 is a close-up shot of James. He has his eyes wide open. This creates horror through mise-en-scène as his skin is white and pale. Lips are cracked and bruised. Horror is created through the irony that James is in a coma, yet his eyes are now open. Shot 54 is a mid-shot of the door of the house opening by itself. The voiceover creates suspense and horror as it contains some information about the house and its history. Shot 55 is a close-up shot of an alarm clock informing the audience of the time. The fact that it shows 3:15 at night creates horror as most activities and events happen at night. The voiceover is carried on through the montage of clips. Shot 56 is of a white figure with a gun walking down the stairs as the voiceover overlaps. The voiceover creates suspense and horror as the audience are informed about the history of the house and what had happened. This makes the audience think that history may repeat itself. The shot used is a mid-shot. Shot 57 is a low-angle shot, and the audience are shown blood splattering on a wall, followed by a gunshot sound. The voiceover is carried on, followed by a bang. Shot 58 is a close-up shot from the point of view of perhaps the protagonist. There is a maggot near James's body. Maggots are disgusting creatures which might scare members of the audience, so that's used. Heavy breathing is heard through the mask, and that's diegetic sound. This is a close-up shot of the protagonist looking very confused. We hear voiceover of heavy breathing and the beeping of the machine. This builds up tension. the shot fades out into the next shot. This is a mid-shot of the protagonist lying in bed with scary eyes as he watches the doctor approach him. The same effect is used as in the previous two shots. The shot fades in and out to tell the story quicker and build up tension. This is a close-up shot of James's back. It has maggots and blood under his body. This happens when someone's dead. So it's like he's dead, but he's alive to scare the protagonist and her sister and everyone else. It's followed by a loud non-diegetic bang as they begin to fly. The maggots begin to fly. Shot 62 is a mid-shot of the doctor being attacked by the gross flying insects. The sound becomes fast-paced, so this frightens the audience. We hear screaming of the doctor and lots of bangs, and then suddenly all this disappears. Shot 63 is a mid-shot of James in bed. Okay, so his body looks dead, you can see bones, so it suggests he's dead, but he's actually alive, he's here to scare his family. We hear the beeping of the machine and the heavy breathing. These are diegetic sounds. The voiceover begins, so that's non-diegetic. Shot 64 is a mid-shot of the protagonist. She's looking down at her brother in bed, James. There is a voice of her talking to James. This shot fades in and out. This is a close-up shot of James staring at his sister in a very hateful look. It looks to be from the side of her arm, so you could say it's an over-the-shoulder shot. He's staring at the girl as she speaks to him in a voiceover. He doesn't respond verbally, but he responds in other ways. So it could be said that he's dead, but why is all this happening? So he isn't actually dead. Heavy breathing is still continued along with the beeping of the machine. So this shot is a mid-shot of James and the protagonist. The girl looks as if though she's in shock as she comes to know that James can actually hear her and he's responding and he's alive. So this creates horror in the audience as James looks fatally ill, but he's alive, so obviously the audience will feel afraid of this. Shot 67 is a close-up of a hand grabbing the girl's head or hair. There's a loud bang and a roar. We don't know what it is, but we just assume that it's James's hand. We hear her screaming, so she's very afraid. This scares the audience because we've seen James in bed. He's responded in this way, so it's scary. It continues into shot 68. Shot 68 is a mid-shot of the girl falling, obviously because something has grabbed her down. Dark lighting is used, which is very common in horrors. It's followed by a roar, and this makes us jump. Shot 69 is a long shot of the previous shot. We are able to see that she has fallen off her bed, so perhaps like her talking to James was a dream, a nightmare, and now she's on the floor, so it shows that it felt real. Dark lighting is used again to indicate that it's night. Yeah. This shot is of text, and it's a list of previous movies that's been produced by the same producer. The audience can recognize these movies and like judge whether they should watch it from these movies, because if they enjoyed it, then they'll go and watch it. Shot 71 is a mid-shot of the protagonist. Voiceover is heard. This house is really bad, and this scares the audience. Diegetic sound is heard, and black and dark lighting further reinforce the genre. This shot fades in and out. Shot 72 is a close-up shot of James. It's a bird's eye view because he's lying down. There's like a sudden sound as James opens his eyes, so this is like a jumpy moment. The darkening is black and dark, which further frightens the audience. Shots fade in and out and tension is built. This is a mid-shot of like the room. The sounds are scary and there's like a haunted house theme. Again, dark lighting reinforcing the genre. It fades in and out. Also lightning from the window. That's mise-en-scene for horror. Mid-shot of the window. Voiceover of the girl talking. Black and dark lighting is used. We see lightning as the camera pans from the window down, and the shots fade in and out. Shot 79 is a close-up of James again, but this is more a low angle shot as opposed to a bird's eye view. We hear the voice over of the girl talking to James. She's very emotional and scared. She wants to know what she can do to stop it. This builds up suspense and tension. Dark lighting reinforces the genre. It fades in and out. A mid-shot is used of the girl. She looks very distressed. The girl's voiceover continues from the previous shot. How can I help you? Yeah, there's dark lighting. It fades in and out. Again, this builds up the horror. Okay, so this is like a mid-shot of the boy's screen that he uses to communicate with everyone. Non-diegetic sound of him typing is heard, and he types "kill me", so it suggests that he's very like distressed and something is controlling him. Dark lighting fades in and out. This all remains. The dark lighting is part of the genre. The fading in and out is part of conventions of a trailer. The girl's dialogue begins. This next shot is of text that reads "between illusion", and the word illusion is moving, so it's creating an illusion of its own. The background remains the same on all of the shots with text on it. It creates fear as there's like blood dripping on concrete. This is a mid-shot and it's from the point of view of perhaps the little girl. It's panning from the clothes to the dolls that the little girl owns. We hear diegetic sound, and there's like a spotlight on the dolls. And dolls are very common in horrors. They're known for coming to life and scaring everyone. This is a mid-shot of the little girl walking towards something. She looks very scared. She turns around to see if someone's behind her, and this builds up the suspense and it keeps the audience at the edge of their seat. Shot 81 is a mid-shot and then a close-up of the haunted figure and his face. It's so scary and it's pale, and these colours just frighten you along with the dark lighting. The figure roars and screaming of the little girl, it's jumpy moment, and the dark lighting again to emphasize on the genre. This is a mid shot of the girl who's screaming. She's really frightened. Dark lighting is used. It lasts for half a second. The horror scenes are short, but they're very scary. This is another text shot, and it continues from the previous shot with text, and it reads "and reality." So this suggests that the audience must decide between what's an illusion and what's reality. So it is frightening because it's real. It could happen to anyone. So it just frightens the audience. Shot 84 is a mid-shot of the girl grabbing a knife. Knives, they have connotations of blood and horror and killing and murdering. The dark lighting, again, horror. Fade in, fade out, again, aspects of a trailer. This next shot is of text, so it reads lies. This is very ambiguous because it could mean it lies within something, or it could mean that lies as in not telling the truth. So it's up to the audience to decide between what they think is real and what they think is not real. Again, these words, real, it links to Levi Strauss's binary opposites. So lies, not telling the truth, real, the truth. So yeah, these words, binary opposition. This is a mid-low angle shot of the boy doing something with his hands. It looks very frightening. The beeping of the machine and the crackling of bones as James raises his arms up, it's very disturbing and unexpected. Something we all expect in horrors, but this is just scary. Black and dark lighting and fading in and fading out. There's a loud bang and then it goes on to the next clip. The next shot is of text, evil. Again, this is a very a scary word we associate with horror, so it represents the genre. This is from shot 87 to 89. It's fast action shots of horror taking place. They're fast and short clips, which occurs in many horrors. Beeping of the machine, screaming, and soundtrack is played throughout the trailer at different volumes. So the beeping of the machine is always heard, this building up tension. The soundtrack is played throughout, screaming, that's a diegetic ambient sound, as we can see her screaming. Dark lighting and fading in and out, all aspects of a horror trailer. The title is presented in shot 90, Amytiville, The Awakening, and beeping of the machine is still present as well as the soundtrack. So yeah, it fades in and out and the voiceover begins. This next shot is a mid-shot from the point of view of the protagonist as she walks into the dining room. There is an empty chair for her to go and sit in. The dialogue of the mother begins, black and dark lighting, but it's soft, so it's presenting like part of the narrative. The shots fade in and out. This shot is a mid-shot of the protagonist. She looks very confused there. The voiceover is continued from the previous shot. Dark lighting is used. It's very dim. It fades in and out. Another aspect of a trailer. James looking very scary and weird. In a mid-shot over the shoulder from, I think, the little girl. Diegetic sound is heard and he whispers, "Kill me." Black and dark lighting is scary and it fades in and out. Finally, shot 94 is a shot of the text and it presents the date of release, January the 2nd, 2015. The voiceover continues as the date of release is transitioning, so it keeps the audience at the edge of their feet as the viewing is yet to come.